I can't speak on Marshawn Lynch because he doesn't talk too much, about situations like that. But Michael Bennett, why they are doing this is that flag means so much to people, and it means different. It represents something different. And I think what people have to understand is that flag was around a long time before all this change that we've been talking about that's been happening over the past half century or 60 years plus that you want to talk about. That flag's been around a very long time, and it stood for something different. And that's what people are trying to get off their chest, or that's what the point they're trying to make. It's not necessarily someone saying, because during this time, no one has ever, I've never seen anybody spit on the flag or burn the flag or step on the flag or anything like that. I don't think no player, Malcolm Jenkins, Colin Kaepernick, no, they're not going to go that far because it's not that type of protest. And the only way people are going to talk about it is if you have to present something that's going to catch someone's eye. People don't like it. People, think one way. Maybe they think it's a negative. I don't think it's a negative. I don't think either way. I just think you view it and you have to understand what people see and then get behind what their message is. When you find out what their message is, and then if it's disrespectful, then either way, either side, then I understand, you can go the way that you want, because not everyone has the same message. Not everyone is trying to present a positive message. So I just had to point that out because I really like that. And you got other players that's starting to step up as well. Seth DeValve, which is the Cleveland Browns tight end. He has brought attention to it, joining in with his fellow teammates. And there's another white player in the NFL. They pointed out, which to me, I didn't think it was very important, but they pointed out that, his wife is black and all that stuff. Who cares? Well, I shouldn't say who cares. That's not the right words to use. I mean, regardless, if you're doing something you feel is right, other pieces that's pointed out is not needed, but he was just pointing out like, hey, this was something that I want to participate in. I felt good about it, and it has to be talked about. Now, I don't know if this man has children, but if he does end up having children with his wife, he's going to have, and he pointed this out, like, I'm going to have kids that don't look like me. He's going to have kids, biracial kids that's out there that's not going to look like him. And they one day, hopefully not, but they one day may have to endure some of this crazy stuff that's going on in the world. So this is about all of us. This is everyone. It is, even though people pointed out to, be about black folks, it still is about everyone. So I'm hoping that positive dialogue comes from this, understanding, and we don't go to automatically assuming or tagging someone as a certain, bad person or how dare you or anything like that, because I think a lot of people are missing the message, behind it. So I'll get off that. I just wanted that happen. I wanted to bring it up. I wanted to point it out. So I got it off my chest and we'll move on. So let's just go ahead and talk about it. I mean, it's the elephant that's in the room. Lopan has been quiet this whole time. Indeed. Yes, that's my co-host. And Lopan been waiting for this moment for the last 24 hours. He been ready to get into this talk. And it has finally happened, ladies and gentlemen. We have a trade. You should know this. If you haven't been in a coma or, maybe somewhere where the internet is not available, whatever it may be. But Kyrie Irving has been traded to the Boston Celtics, ladies and gentlemen. And I can tell you right now, when that came across my phone, my notification. Because at first it was like, they're in talks or whatever. And I was like, no, whatever. No. Two teams that saw each other in the Eastern Conference Final, they're going to swap players, Isaiah Thomas for Kyrie Irving, and they get Jay Crowder. And, and then a little bit later on, it says, it's happening. It is happening. It's here, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm like, no way. The NBA, man, I've been trying to move on from this story. I've been trying to stick, into the football or maybe bringing up other, sports going on. But the NBA just doesn't stop. It doesn't go away. And this trade, and I've talked to people, that's on both sides. They're just like, oh my God, Boston, got came up with Kyrie. And then other people, they liked it that Isaiah's going, to Cleveland, on both sides. To me, if I look at both, I give the slight edge. I give the slight edge to Kyrie going to Boston. But I'm not even worried about that. More what I'm worried about the rest of this season that hasn't even started yet. And if you hear my voice, I'm getting excited. The rest of this season that hasn't even started yet. October 17th will be here before you know it, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to kick that. That's going to kick off. And the Boston Celtics, at this point right now, has solidified or locked up another Eastern Conference Final appearance in my eye, in my estimate. The Raptors, we saw what they were. You got other teams. We talked about Milwaukee might be a little bit better, and all this stuff. But we are on a collision course right now for the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Boston Celtics. You got so many pieces to this story, ladies and gentlemen. You got so many. You got D Rose just got there. Now he definitely, remember, we were talking about if Kyrie get traded, D Rose was going to start. D Rose is now back to, coming off the bench. D Rose, not too long ago, MVP. Yes, his injuries, hurt him and everything, but now we talking about him coming off the bench. Can he come off the bench? Will he come off the bench? Can he, be happy, with a role like that? Because you're not bringing Isaiah to the team to come off the bench. No, not Mr. Fourth Quarter. Heck no. And you also bring over Jay Crowder. Jay Crowder, a lot of people sleep on Jay Crowder. Jay Crowder is a nice piece added to this team. They don't need any more superstars. They just need someone to fill the team out and play the roles that they play. So you got that avenue of it. You still got Kevin Love there. What will happen, will they defer to Kevin a little bit more? Or will he be playing, third fiddle again? Tristan Thompson, can he get his game together? J.R. Smith is going to be coming off the bench. And let's not even forget, as soon as that trade happened, there was another one right behind it or right in front of it. D Wade. They talking about D Wade may get bought out and he come to Cleveland. So you got that avenue of if they get D Wade, what's going to happen in the Eastern Conference? You have also, remember, I said this. I said Cleveland's on the clock. They on the clock. I said, if they trade Kyrie, and I didn't think they were getting Isaiah Thomas back, but if they trade Kyrie, LeBron is probably going to be out of there after this year. But if they get D Wade, the only thing I'm paying attention to is Dwayne Wade's contract. However way he rolls, that's going to tell the future. If they sign Dwayne Wade, if they get him for 2 years, LeBron will be there for 2 years. Cleveland, you can breathe. But what I think is going to end up happening, I think 2 years, and then everyone going to break wide, and it's going to be Isaiah Thomas and probably Kevin Love there. to try and keep the wheels on the machine going. But that's a whole nother story. Now we flip over to the Boston side. We were all talking about Jason Tatum, just like, oh man, this dude, he's going to be awesome. And to me, I think Boston made this trade because, one, I think last year's draft pick, Jaylen Brown, I think he played better than what they expected. And they are expecting big things from him. And they're expecting him, obviously, he got taken very early in the draft last year, if I remember correctly. But either way, he's a first-round pick. They're expecting more out of him than they got out of Jay Crowder. You got Gordon Hayward. Like I said, Jason Tatum. And then you add Kyrie Irving to the mix. The guy who wanted his own team. The guy who wanted to be the man in a city like Boston, who will treat him like a king. You think they were crazy about Isaiah Thomas? I'm sure they are losing it right now because they're getting Kyrie Irving. I'm ready for the basketball season. Needs to maybe start October 1st. Because the hype is going to be ridiculous. And when they finally meet, I didn't even look at the schedule because I'm just been, rattled by, this trade. When the first time they meet, it's going to be crazy. Will Kyrie be mad at LeBron? I don't think so. But, will it be out for revenge? Will it be all this other stuff? How would they treat, Kyrie, being that he's going to be, opposite, and all this stuff. NBA, fantastic. Yes, I'm using the line. Fantastic. You got the West Coast. You got this stuff going on in the East. And we still don't know what Carmelo is going to do. So he may even move somewhere and surprise us all. And now, we got another story. So Kyrie Irving to the Boston Celtics. And I was talking about the Braves game earlier because Al Horford was at that game and he was sitting right in front of me. And I'm like, and people who don't know me, I don't like to bother people out in public. Celebrities, athletes, and all that stuff. Because to me, you start talking, if they're in a public place, you start talking about their job, to me, that's a no-no. But that's just me. But I had to at least think because he was on the phone a lot while we was at the game. And I said, we went to the game together, but he was on the phone a lot while I was at that game. And I'm wondering if he was on the phone talking, maybe to Kyrie, maybe he was talking to IT, maybe he was talking to somebody else. But he was all smiles. I know that. So I know he heard the news. Maybe he got it as soon as I got it. But I think Boston, this right here is going to, I'm not saying Boston is going to win the Eastern Conference and go to the finals and all that stuff. But now this has stepped them up one notch closer. I can see the Eastern Conference going 7 games. No one gave Boston a chance playing against Cleveland, and they got 1 game, out of it. So I can see them getting at least 2 more games, pushing this thing 7 games. So I'm at a loss. I'm a little bit of a loss for words. Lopan is excited. And I'm excited, so I can't wait for basketball to start, and we'll have football going on at the same time. That's just too much. It's just too much, but I love it. And we talked about this whole thing with, LeBron and D-Wade, possibly coming to Cleveland. I wonder what role would D-Wade serve? Obviously, he's not going to be the man because there's reports about him basically really being on the bad side of the younger players, saying that they don't like D-Wade. And I think D-Wade is just in another, he's at another point in his career that he's not trying to go through those growing pains with those young kids. I'm sure he probably thought I'll come there, boom, boom, boom. We'll play good ball and all that stuff. And he got there, and it's just like, wait a minute, I don't have